It is time for 10-minute Twitter Talk, our fun little video segment that our own Destin Legary spearheads. Destin, what is the topic this week? Set the clock and let's roll, my friend.
All right, so today it's all about the Steam family sharing plan.
I've heard of that.
That's a PC thing. Why are we talking about that?
Yeah.
Versus Xbox One's original sharing plan. Why is Steam's announcement great, but Microsoft's a failure? I wanted to see what you guys
Loaded
thought.
question.
Give us the quick overview on the Steam thing real quick for viewers that might not have.
Yeah, so it's
been
Valve announced
filled in.
a family sharing plan.
Mitch, you wrote the story.
There we go.
Marty, you have a nice beard.
Marvy?
Yeah.
Marvy!
2 M names in the middle. I got confused.
All right,
It's
that's been
really
Twitter
hard.
Talk. Okay.
This is the best thing we've
I
ever
need
done.
to learn things.
Oh,
All right, so Valve announced a family sharing plan. So, Marty, you and I, as best friends on the universe, can now share, in the coming weeks, we'll be able to share accounts.
Okay.
So, you share your library with me, I share my library with you.
That's awesome.
If you see, I've never played Red Faction Guerrilla, I don't want to spend, $10-20 on it, I'm going to just jump into Mitch's account and play it. You can just do that. You can install anything that I own as long as I am not logged in and playing.
Oh, that's
Very
incredible.
similar to Microsoft's original Xbox One family sharing plan. I want to point out, I totally called this the day they announced that. I was like, Steam will do this in 6 months. Here we are.
This is really great.
Mitch Stradamus.
Yeah, but Microsoft took it away, and now all we have is the gold sharing, where you can log into your account on my machine and play my games, which is still really cool, but it's not as flexible and it's not as generous.
It's a lot more
It's not as
limited.
far-reaching.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite you on any device that you have that can play Steam games. You log in, and you just click over to Mitch's library, and you play whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like sharing your iTunes library.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that you are sharing video games with somebody in a way that you can never do with digital. It's a hard word, apparently.
Yeah.
So where was Microsoft's failure in this? Where was everybody just caught up in the DRM issue? What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I
Basically.
can barely remember where family sharing fell off the... at a certain point, it just kind of got lost amid something else that they got rid of. Like, they got rid of Always Online, so with that, family sharing's gone. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that went part and parcel with that.
So they were saying, we'll get rid of the Always Online, but you're going to lose family sharing. And people actually were like, that's the one thing I liked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it was an amazing feature.
If I remember right, family sharing was never going to be at launch. If I believe so.
yeah.
I think it was going to come online
It's
later.
one of those things where it was like Sony's Gaikai, where they keep showing it and they keep talking about it, but it's not a launch feature at all.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah,
Microsoft said that it could still come back?
Yep.
You have. They
Yeah,
keep
there's
saying that.
Yeah, they keep saying, maybe we'll add it back later. And I'm sure they absolutely will. At this point, one, because they've talked about it so much that they kind of have to, but two, seeing the reaction to this Valve thing is insane. People are so excited, obviously, because it's awesome.
Well, plus the fact that Xbox Live, Xbox One is trying to be Steam. It wants to be Steam.
Desperately.
And it's a good thing for all of us if it is Steam.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, yes, they absolutely will follow suit in time.
Like right now, I already do that on Steam. You're probably not supposed to, but if I'm like, so-and-so has a game I need to play for work, hey, do you mind if I just use the game on your account
Sure.
for a day or two? Sure, okay, I'll
that's how you
text you
played
and get
Outlast.
your code. Yeah, that's how I played Outlast. And, instead of reaching out to the publisher, I just play that game for a night, and then I'm like, thank you for letting me use your account for that time. Now they're just making it way easier. Then you don't have to go through those.
It's crazy how generous this thing is, too, right? Like, there's no restrictions. There are restrictions in that, like, if you need to boot Far Cry 3 via Uplay, you can't share it because I need my Uplay account. And, I don't own Far Cry 3 on my
And
Uplay
if the account holder logs in, the other person either has to buy the game or get off.
Yep. And they make it fairly clear that it's like if Ryan's playing something and I jump onto my account and want to play something, it will tell him, hey, you have to go because Mitch...
Daddy's home.
Yeah,
Time
exactly, yeah. But I figure that will never be a problem, right? Like, if I'm sharing my account with someone, I probably trust them, I probably know them, I'm probably going to be able to get in touch with them and say, hey, I'm going to be home tonight to play X.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
What if
Make
I'm
sure you're not
playing?
off.
What if I'm
Or
playing
not on.
Outlast on Marty's account and he wants to play Amnesia on his account? Can he play Amnesia while I play Outlast?
Nope.
It's
No.
one at a time.
Only
One
one
person
account can be
on the-
active.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, one-
But I mean, that's like small price to pay for
I'll
free infinite video games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you
Yeah.
consider anyone who is friends with us can play all of our games pretty much 12 hours a day while we're at work.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we're obviously not playing PC games at work. Well, Dustin does sometimes, but
Yeah. But
yeah,
this
that
is a
library's
case
free.
where friends who maybe don't have a great PC and don't really play a lot of PC games can now log into your account and they can say, oh, this seems really interesting. I guess I would not have played this if I had to buy it for $40, but it's just here. Check it out.
This is when you start making them international friends.
See,
Go to bed.
there are region laws.
Oh, there are region
Yeah,
laws.
so
Okay.
if someone in the UK can't access a game in the States, they can't access it via sharing.
Yeah, interesting.
Do you guys feel like this was an Xbox One sort of killer app, we'll call it, that they lost?
It wouldn't have been to this degree,
No,
right?
I mean this is epic in a way that Xbox One couldn't even competed with. If Xbox One still had family sharing as it was originally promised, this still would have been like, whoa, suck it, Microsoft, because the Steam library is so massive. And if, like, Destin, if you log into my account and you want to play Sleeping Dogs, you also get all the DLC I've purchased. Like, if you love that game and
On
you play
Steam?
through it, yeah, you can just jump into the DLC chapters and play the expansion packs and stuff like that.
Cool.
Anything I own is yours to play. That's insane. And there are hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of games on Steam. Most of which are, worth playing.
Yeah. Well, I did reach out to some people on Twitter, and I kind of asked them, like, how is this working for Steam, but not for Microsoft? And Kyle Dissange,
Desange.
A frequent
Desange.
podcast
Desange.
Unlocked
Yeah.
listener
Cal
and contributor.
Desange.
also a Beyond listener, it looks like. The Steam/PC community is already used to a full digital space.
Yeah.
I think that's what the console market didn't like about it. It's just like it's unfamiliar territory to console owners.
That's
right?
true.
It's something that consoles will learn to embrace in due time.
By force, if necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, Microsoft tried to force it. It didn't. And
Yeah.
Didn't work out this time.
Well, another baby stepping it, right? Like digital libraries. You can buy all your games day one
Yep.
on
Both
live.
consoles.
Yeah. And that's going to introduce people to the possibility that you don't need a disc. You can just everything is always on the internet. You want
Well,
your games, they're there. You
Yeah,
just have to log in
I've
and there
already,
they are.
I've had some conversations on Twitter with people where I've sort of already more or less swayed them to going all digital with Xbox One, because the two things you get when you go all digital on Xbox One are the instant switching, which you don't get if you buy it on disc. It's you have to. There's a disc check, so you have to change discs.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is something we get now, but you don't think about it until you're like, oh yeah, it's there's $60 games, and that's no sales tax. You don't have to go, I mean, PS3 has this now, and Xbox as well. The games on demand. Like I bought Last of Us for PS3. It actually was. I couldn't find it in the store because it was shortly after it had come out, and it was still hard to come by. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just download this off of PSN. No big deal. And it was $59.99. I didn't have to pay. I mean, here in Northern California, we're at 9% tax. So it would have cost me about another, $5.50 or something,
That's crazy.
plus the gas to go get it. I mean, the time works out to about the same because it
Time is money.
It took a while to download.
Sure, but I mean, you could do that where, I'm going to go to a movie tonight. Or
Exactly.
I'm going to work this morning.
Exactly.
Initiate,
Put it on and go to
download,
bed.
walk away.
But that's another thing that you'll get if you go digital on Xbox One. You're not paying sales tax. You're just going to pay $60 for your games, not $65 or $66, depending where you happen to live.
And PSN and Xbox One or Xbox Live are embracing the same thing that you can do with Steam, where you can just open your phone and buy something, and your box at home will turn on.
Download it
figure out,
automatically.
I like
grab
that a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Michael
good.
De Silva said Steam's doesn't let you use online friends games. Xbox did. Is that correct?
Say that one more time. I'm just
Like
trying to process that.
so like on Steam, the Amnesia Outlast example.
Yeah.
You said that will not work on Xbox One. Could we both be playing Splinter Cell at the same time?
Man, this is weird, and I'm trying to remember right now. Like,
I thought you could
how
play
does
with-
Xbox Gold work versus family sharing?
Yeah.
I think the way it works is Destin can access my library from his machine if.
I don't think you could both be playing the same
No,
game
I don't
at the
think you
same
can
time.
because I think if you're on your machine playing my digital library, maybe it's you can play different games, but you can't play the same one. You absolutely can't play the same one.
I believe that was
You
how
might
it was.
be able to play different games. Like you and I could not play Halo 5 together with one copy of the game. You would have to buy your own.
Yeah.
Even if I share my stuff with you.
Okay. Well, I think the last tweet says it best. Steve Lamson, because it's cool to hate Microsoft right now. All the cool kids are doing it. Like,
Well, I wouldn't call those kids cool.
Well, no. He's being sarcastic.
Yeah,
but
no,
it
I
does
know.
seem like it's kind of like everybody's piling on Microsoft. Every time we
Absolutely.
put up a Microsoft story, a ton of negativity about Xbox One.
Yeah.
Stuff
I am
like
both
that.
an
we
Xbox
did a final-
fanboy and
yeah.
a PlayStation fanboy because I hate Xbox. So
Yeah.
I think I'd balanced out in one.
We did a Final Fantasy thing, and they're like, "Yeah, get this on your Xbox One." Oh wait, and it's by far the number one comment. It's just any chance people have to pile
Sure.
on Xbox or Microsoft. It seems like they're jumping on
Most
it.
people should get hobbies or
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I don't understand. Yeah, they had a terrible PR intro, but they're doing better now.
whatever. It's video games.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good console.
It is. I'm
We're
excited.
let's see.
that's at 10 minutes.
2 months away, just about.
Oh,
Yeah,
so,
that's
12 weeks.
Don't tell
Excellent.
Us that. Don't say that.
For more,
well, it's gonna get hit.
for more of Podcast Unlocked, some of you are already listening to it, and the rest of you who are watching on video, please look us up on iTunes. Search for Podcast Unlocked. You're the world's #1 Xbox podcast every Wednesday.